welcome to Live at Evo. I'm your host, Jerry Mayer Judson, and with me, this gentleman, you might know him as lead vocals in Sleepcircle. It's Jake Touzel. How are you doing?
I'm so good, Jerry. How you doing?
Oh, fabulous. Thank you so much for asking. All right. Well, I say that we make like a chubby polar bear and we break the ice with a tune, shall we? Give me
like that. That's quite a good expression. I think I'm going to steal it.
Get into it.
I'm going to play a song.
Get into it. Let's do
right.
it.
I've been living in the city. I've been talking to a cat. Yeah, he's a good listener, but he don't talk back. I got store-bought serotonin, and the bottle has no end. Start to wonder if I'm different or just part of some old trend. Well, happiness is fleeting as we waste away in the evening. And how can we face our fears while suppressing our chemistry? How can we heal ourselves with the tools meant to keep us down? Now you know we conjure meaning, thinking it's part of some plan. But that war has gone on for too long. You're your own God, man. Screaming softly in the morning, whispering into the void at night. I see beauty in destruction, but that's no way to live your life. Well, happiness is fleeting as we waste away in the evening. And how can we ease our fears while suppressing our chemistry? How can we heal ourselves with the tools meant to keep us down?
Thank you so much. That was so good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So why don't you take me through your process in writing that one?
My process. So usually the way it happens is I'll come up with a cool riff or chord pattern and then kind of hum or sing a melody over it and then try to put words to that after the fact. So it's kind of...
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes I will write lyrics in the beginning and then try to form a song that way, but I find most of the time it works easier the other way around.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
And then, so I suppose you find a cool riff, and then do the words come like you try to fit the vibe of the riff that you've written, or does it like?
I think definitely I try to suit the mood of the lyrics to the notes being played.
Okay, for sure. And then, so that's your usual process. How does that differ from putting together like a song with the band that you are in?
Yeah, so that is very different. I mean, I think in Sleepcircle, Kavian and Paul, the guitar players, usually write the majority of the songs, or at least the parts of the songs, and then the rest of us collectively will sit down and put it all together, and then I'll write lyrics after the fact.
Oh, cool. So you're very much lyricist. That's you. That's
pretty
your
much,
jam.
yeah.
Very
On
cool.
occasion, I play guitar in the band, but it's more vocals and lyrics that are the focus in that project.
So what was it like then? Because you hooked up with them a couple years, like a few
Yeah.
years ago. So you've had your 2 EPs with them now, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then what was it like? How did you get hooked up with Sleepcircle to begin with?
So Jake Touzel Band actually opened Sleepcircle's album release show maybe 2 or 3 years ago or whatever, and then the old singer Curtis quit. No, nothing against him. It just wasn't for him, and I mean, I respect him for being able to take that step back and say, hey guys, this isn't for me, rather than letting the project suffer as a whole, you know, because somebody's heart's not really into it. But I mean, they were like, we need a singer, and I'm like, I guess I'll do it. And then yeah, so here we are a couple of years later, a couple EPs, and
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's incredibly serendipitous. That's so cool.
I think it is too. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
bit weird, but it's worked out really nicely. I think we're very happy together.
That's so nice. Like as the turtles start playing, like happy together, it
Yes.
starts to swell.
Ooh, I should have covered that.
Did it. We
Missed
gotta scrap the
opportunity.
whole show, honestly.
See you next week.
So, but before you like teased a cover, that's excellent. I like that. But before we do play that, can you play me another original?
You want me to play you another original?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want.
All right. I'm gonna do it. This one's weird.
I mean, perfect. That's the best introduction I've ever heard in my life. Go for it.
Okay, sounds good. Who knew that it was true? Sinners sing and sinners soothe. But the lamb was poison from the start. And the heart is just a sponge. There are things that can't be undone, like resurrecting enemies. But it's easy when they're weak. You've been sleeping too long. The world is changing. There's a million different ways for me to say I told you so. I'm burning up, 'cause got a bottle and some easy pills to swallow. Drink another to make sense of it all. You've been alone all along. I guess things just serve their purpose, never knowing what they're worth. But the key opens the lock, and the dagger stabs the heart. It was bleeding from the start. You've been sleeping too long. The world is changing. There's a million different ways for me to say I told you so. I'm burning up, 'cause got a bottle and some easy pills to swallow. Drink another to make sense of it all. Been alone all along. And if your faith is shaking, you must surely be mistaken, 'cause it never really was at all. You've been alone all along.
You said it was weird. No, that was really great.
Oh, thank you so much.
You.
I think it's weird.
What makes you say that it's weird?
I guess the riffy part, it's like not something that I would do in an acoustic song normally, but it works. So
That was my favorite part.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course, that was very cool. It's an attention grabber.
Thank you.
Yeah. So why don't you tell me a story here? Like, you've been in the Vancouver music scene long enough to like have opened for Sleepcircle and for them to be like, we need a singer. So what was your sort of journey through the Vancouver music scene that got you right to here to Live at Evo?
I started playing music when I was 13. In high school, I was in a band called Gordon, which was really not that good of a band.
Why were you called Gordon, if I can ask?
Oh, so it's actually a really funny story.
Please.
We needed a band name, and then we were like, what do we do? And the bass player, Raph, at the time, was like, why don't we call it Gordon?
Nowhere.
Yeah, and then it ended up being really funny because I get compared to, what's his name? The guy from Bare Naked Ladies. Steve Perry? No, that's the guy from Journey.
Oh, it's embarrassing. Oh,
I know. Brent Butt? No.
No, but
that's not him.
adjacent.
Yeah. Anyways, I was told Stephen Page. That's him. I've been compared vocally to him a lot of the time, and one of their albums is called Gordon, so everybody thought it was like this.
Tongue in cheek.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It certainly was not.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I mean from there, I think after that kind of filtered out. Everybody went off to university and moved to India, and well, the drummer moved to India, and I haven't heard from him since. I just kind of played solo music from there for the next few years, and then started putting together a band, and it was Jake Touzel band, and then we played a bunch of shows, and then that led me to Sleepcircle, and yeah, it's kind of just been a whirlwind of time and maybe poor life decisions, but who knows? You be the judge.
Oh, no, I'd be a terrible judge of poor life decisions, my friend, I don't think. Yeah, right? Yeah. I don't know. Only God and myself can judge me, but
so
that
good.
is hilarious about your high school band. I love that so much. Out of nowhere. It's called Gordon.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it was cool. I think I got to play in bars when I was not 18, so that was kind of cool. Like I remember playing, we played a Halloween show at the Media Club one time, and I was dressed as Superman, and I was like 18 at the time, so I couldn't drink, of course. But I went and I tried to get a beer, and the bartender was like, "Can I see your ID?" And I'm like, "You can't know my identity." It worked, thankfully, but
are you kidding?
yeah.
On charm alone, Superman.
That's it. That's it.
Phenomenal. There's nothing like being allowed to go into a bar and play your music when you're a teenager.
It's cool, right?
Oh. Yeah, that's the coolest thing. So I hear that you've also come prepared with a cover tune for us. Why don't you tell me which one you picked and why did you pick it?
Okay. This song is called Lazarus by a band called Porcupine Tree. It's always really spoke to me. I think it came out 20 years ago now. But I love the lyrics. The chords are beautiful. And I think it's a special song.
Let us hear that special song.
Okay, sounds good.
As the cheerless towns pass my window, I can see a washed out moon through the fog. Then a voice inside my head breaks the analog. and says, follow me down to the valley below. You know, moonlight is bleeding from out of your soul. I survived against the will of my twisted folk. But in the deafness of my world, the silence broke and said, follow me down to the valley below. Is bleeding from out of your soul. My David, don't you worry. This cruel world is not for you. So rest your head upon me. I have strength to carry you. Follow me down to the valley below. You know, moonlight is bleeding from out of your soul.
Thank you for sharing that with us. That was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Of course. So we know that you like that one, but tell me about some of your other preferences. Like, what is one of, I'm not going to say totally favorite album of all time, but what's one of them? And tell me about it.
Ooh, okay. Of all time.
I know it's a tough question.
That is
I'm
such a tough question.
so sorry.
Have you ever listened to the Constantines?
No, but I have heard of.
Okay, so there's an album by them called Shine a Light, and from start to finish, it is just incredible. I think some of the guitar work on that album was really like the archetype for a lot of modern-ish indie kind of sounds. So that's a big recommendation. Currently, Dawn FM by The Weeknd. I am obsessed.
I have not even listened to it yet.
It is so incredible.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think his stuff just keeps getting, I don't know. I like each album better than the last one. Yeah. 100%. Did you like stream it on the day?
Yeah, I watched he had a live stream event on Twitch, and he was in like full old man prosthetics, it's weird. Like they're building up to this storyline, and I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but I think his lyricism is just second to none.
Oh, completely.
In the modern era.
Completely. 100%. Yeah. And which artists would you count then among your influences?
Okay. A big one for me is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I think ever since I got Murder Ballads when I was like 14, that was a big thing for me. Again, Constantine's is a big influence for me. In terms of the more heavy stuff, I think I really am into the new Turnstile record. But we're talking about influences.
You can talk about whatever you want.
I'm going to talk about whatever I want,
please.
Jerry. Yeah, and I think I grew up with listening to classic rock, of course, because of my dad, and listening to the Fox 99.3 with my other dad, Todd Hancock. And
my other dad, Todd Hancock.
He is my dad, yeah. So I think, yeah, a lot of that. When I first started playing guitar, I think I was obsessed with Iron Maiden. So I think that's where kind of my appreciation of that technique came from.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Like on the heavier end, yeah. Oh yeah. yeah, lots of the folks I knew when they started playing music and they really liked Iron Maiden, that absolutely molded what they became.
Totally.
100%. Do you, I know it's hard to like state a clear preference and you don't have to have one,
Sure.
but talk about why they're both good if you don't have one. Do you prefer playing in a band or by yourself?
This one's gonna get me in trouble. It's really, really hard to say. I mean, this right now is the first time I played solo in ages. Yeah, so it's actually cool to be kind of doing this again. And on the one hand, I love playing solo because I'm in control of everything. But on the other hand, I don't think some of the songs would speak the same way if they were just played solo. You know, it needs kind of 5 people behind it and putting all the little pieces together to make the big sound.
The big sound. No, completely know sometimes you do need that extra spice from the other humans. That's a good answer.
Thank you.
That was good. That was incredibly diplomatic. Phenomenal. And then when you record stuff and you release stuff, are you very much like fingers in the pie, I want to help produce all the things, or less so?
I think less so. A lot of the time when we go into the studio, we've already like demoed and done our own pre-production on the song. So it's like some of us might have ideas, but most of the time we work with Matt Roach, who kind of produces and records us.
Oh, right arm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Right arm.
Right arm. I know, right? Catches you off guard. And why don't I'm gonna ask you some more questions after, but please launch into the last song you have for us.
This is a brand new song that I've never played live before.
Oh my god, we're so lucky.
It's called Fail Out Loud.
I like that.
Okay. I'm gonna play it. Forgive me if I screwed up.
Good ever comes from rational thinking. Spare me your truth, go back to the drinking. You're trying to keep the peace, I'm trying to clean my peace. I'm only human after all. And baby, we were born to fail out loud. Problems are ever solved with inaction. So you just looking for my reaction. You're looking for the bar, I'm aiming for the heart. You're only human after all. And baby, you were born to fail out loud. Now watch the hills roll away and find yourself in the astral space of a bag filled with bricks in the river. 'Cause baby, we were born to fail out loud. Watch your friends, they'll show you how. You're looking at things from the inside out. 'Cause baby, we were born to fail out loud.
That was rad. I
Thank
like
you so
that
much.
a lot.
I'm so glad.
Of course, no. Failing out loud is it's kind of a reworking of like a mantra that I have about like, it's okay if you make a mistake sometimes.
Just gotta own it.
Exactly. Make a mistake loudly. I like that a lot. Tell me, in your storied history full of questionable decisions in the Vancouver music scene, what has been your You said it, I didn't. What has been some of your favorite gigs that you've played?
Favorite gigs?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Superman and beer aside.
There was a really good one we played that Todd organized, actually, at the Portside Pub. And I think we played really well. But one memory that always sticks out is I was compelled to smash my guitar, which I still regret to this day. It's like broken in my closet still. I haven't
That's the corpse. You have skeletons in your closet.
And I have no idea why. I mean, I do know why, but I can't say it on radio. But yeah. So that was cool. With Sleepcircle, we got to open for Truck Fighters, which they're like a legendary Swedish fuzz band. So that was a really cool opportunity. Yeah, so that was our first time playing the Rickshaw. We opened for Truck Fighters, and then in October we headlined the Rickshaw. So that was really cool.
That's so rad.
Yeah.
That's very cool for a heavier band, for sure.
I think,
yeah.
So it's those are definitely like my two highlights right now.
Do you have like a favorite venue that you like to play best? I'm being divisive. I'm so sorry.
You know what? We played the Wise Hall in November, and I love it there.
Yeah.
It's just such a good feel, and it's way more community oriented, you know, because I mean, excuse my French, but everywhere else is a fucking Donnelly pub, so
Yeah. So then the Wise, that makes sense.
you know what,
the vibe
it's nice
is
to
good.
have a community owned and oriented venue rather than
Wherever.
yeah
No, for sure. And then that the price of admission also is going to the community.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure. Actually, that makes sense because I know I think Neil from 5440, if that is indeed his name, played at the Wise Hall not too long ago. So it's like,
yeah.
oh, for sure. It's like that spoke to me. I haven't been yet because I moved here in a pandemic. I feel like I'm behind on all the things. But anyway, speaking of, I want to say a brighter future than the pandemic, but who knows the way 2022 is gone, man. We're 2 weeks in and 3 weeks in, and
Are we 3 weeks in now?
almost.
Oh, boy.
Exactly 2. Okay.
Wow, okay.
We're on the 3rd week of 2022. But what does the rest of 2022 hold for Jake Touzel? Any projects, aspirations to let me in on?
Well, I think I'm definitely going to try and get myself into the studio, be it either at home and kind of producing some of these acoustic tracks myself, or a little bit higher caliber. Sleepcircle will be back in the studio in another month.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty busy. I mean, we're trying not to get ahead of ourselves. In 2020, we played a show on March 13th, which was our EP release for Strange Life, and then the next day the world shut down. We had a little tour lined up, and everything got canceled. So we're trying not to plan too much. It's like plan what you can and what you need to, but don't get ahead of yourself, because next thing you know,
Who knows if the world's gonna just shut down? Oh
True.
my God,
Yeah.
the timing. At least you got the very last one.
yeah, true that. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, y'all, absolutely. You have some touring to make up. We have some partying to
we
do.
have 2 EPs that we
2 EPs that you haven't gotten to.
play on the road. Yeah,
Can you tell me if this one's going to be an LP that you're recording or another EP, or can you tell me?
I can't tell you yet.
That's fine. You don't have to. That's so
You'll
cool.
know though.
Yeah.
When it
When
comes
it comes out, I can count the tracks. I'm like, oh, there are 13. Oh, thank you so much for coming down, Jake, and playing those tunes for us. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, of course. Thank your other dad, Todd Hancock, for lining it up.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Dad.
Lovely.
And thank you so much for tuning in and catching this episode of Live at Evo. I will catch you next time.